Hi, it's Jenny and I'm here at the Edinburgh Science Festival with Matt, who is the creator of the Gadget Factory, which is one of the events that is happening here this weekend. The Gadget Factory is all about electronics and circuit boards. So Matt, could you just give us an idea about electronics and circuits, because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so you can find out about electronics and circuits by pulling apart gadgets. So for example, this is an old camera. So you can have a look in there. There's lots of little different components which make up the electrical circuits which allow the camera to do what it does. This is an old mobile phone, if you have a nice close look. And then for something which is a bit easier to understand, here's a remote control. So we've pulled it open. There's little buttons here. And inside there's a printed circuit board which has all the buttons and some little things on it, and these are called components. Now, if we turn it around, you can see that there is a capacitor, a transistor, and an LED. And here, just on the front there's something called a resistor. Now, those are the components, the same kinds of components that we're going to use to make our own little flashing badge, which looks a bit like this.
Ah, okay. So this is what we're going to be doing today, and this is what the Gadget Factory is about, is it? Making
absolutely.
These. Okay. So where do we start?
So what we're going to do is we get to choose what kind of badge we want.
Right.
So I've chosen to make a little blue snail, and you're going to make a little red
I've got
fish.
a red fishy.
And what we need to do is we need to solder the components in. Each of the components has a specific role, so we need to put them in the right holes, and then we need to solder them together using these really hot soldering irons.
Okay, so what are these, the components here in front of me?
Yes, they are. So there's 4 different components we're going to use. First of all is the resistor. That's a very special little piece of material which allows electricity to flow at a certain rate. This is a transistor, which is a really important piece of technology. It's basically a little switch, but you turn it off and on with electricity. This is a capacitor that stores a tiny little bit of electricity, and it can get rid of it almost as quickly. And this, everyone's seen one of these, this is an LED. When you put electricity through it, it lights up.
Ah, and I can see one, look, flashing here, the little dinosaur.
Pretty cute.
It's cute. Right, so what do we do? Where do we start? We've got the soldering iron.
We've got the soldering irons. They are super hot. They're about 200 degrees Celsius. So we need to be really careful not to touch the end.
Okay.
And also we'll need goggles.
Right,
So
got mine
if you
here.
put your goggle on.
Right.
Very nice.
Wow.
Looking cool.
I do look cool. Good fashion accessory.
Great.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by putting a little LED into one of the eyes on our...
All right, well, I'll watch you first,
Okay.
and then I'll attempt to do it.
Now, an LED only allows electricity through it in one direction, a bit like the groovy... Oh, no, I won't talk about them.
Okay.
I like one direction, but
no.
it's very embarrassing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the long leg through the bit which says plus there.
Yep.
And I'm going to put the short leg through the minus sign.
Yep.
So that goes all the way through so that it's flat. I'm going to turn it upside down and bend the legs just out slightly so that it holds when I let go.
Okay.
Then we're going to use our soldering iron and a bit of something called solder. So solder is a kind of little bit of wire, but it's special metal which melts at about 200 degrees.
Okay.
And also because it's metal, it's conductive, so electricity can flow through it.
So this just sticks it all in there, does it?
Yeah, so it kind of glues the component onto the circuit board. So we're going to put the soldering iron there. This is the fun bit. And you push...
Wow.
And
what's all that smoke that comes off?
That's called flux.
Yeah.
That basically helps the metal to run around, move around.
Okay.
So if we squeeze that on, there we go. So I've done that solder.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to snip the legs off.
Yeah.
1.
Oh, that's
fine.
why we wear goggles.
Yeah. 2, and then we've got a little eye on my little snail. So you can have a go if you want.
Okay, let me have a go. Right, I'll take this. So I've got my fish, his eyes are there. Yeah. So I put the
long leg
one
is
through
the
plus.
That's right.
Oh, here we go.
All the way through.
And just like so it stays in.
Bend them out a bit,
Okay, right. This is
This is the dangerous bit.
This is definitely dangerous for me. How hot did you say this was?
200 degrees Celsius.
Wow. Right. So this is, what's this called?
That's called solder.
Solder.
So that's going to melt. That's metal which is going to melt. And it'll melt on and kind of glue the legs onto the circuit board.
Whoa. Ooh. That one's done.
Pretty good. Try turning the thing up.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Is that okay?
That's almost good. You might just want to fiddle around there because
I've got the wire in the
there's
way.
a little hole. But just...
Oh, I got that stuck. Oh no.
Oh, well
Is that
done.
okay?
That's it. Okay, now you
Cool.
can snip the legs off.
Right.
And then we can make the rest of it. That might take half an hour.
Fab. A fish with one eye. There we go.
Lovely.
So it take me about half an hour to make the rest?
Yeah, I should think so.
Brill. Okay.
And if you're watching this, I guess you can come down to the Science Festival
And
make one yourself.
In the words of Blue Peter, here's one we made earlier. There's Mr. Dino, and you've got Mr. Snail
I've
over
got
there.
Mr. Snail, and it attaches on with a little clasp there, and there's a battery at the back, and that powers the circuit.
Right, cool. So,
Pretty cool.
Matt, if people can't come down to the Gadget Factory, obviously because it's in Edinburgh, what can you do at home if you're interested in electronics and
Should we take these
circuit boards?
Well, very simply, I would love people to pull apart old gadgets themselves and try to work out how they're made and what the parts are for. So it's simplest with little things like remote controls that your parents definitely don't want.
Yes, we don't want to upset parents. Please don't use your sister's iPhone and take that apart. I don't think they'd be
Not
happy.
a good idea. But it's simplest to have a look at some of those things and also just try and repair stuff when it breaks instead of, because there's loads of instructions online of how to repair different things, and through that you learn how things work.
Brilliant. Wow. Well, it's definitely been a first experience for me soldering. I've never done that before, so thank you very much.
Great.
Well, if you want some more information about engineering or careers or anything to do with circuits or electronics, why not visit our Curiosity Project website? The URL is siemens.co.uk/curiosity-project.